Hi, this is Trey Pastor. Welcome to my review of Zathura. Zathura. Okay, this movie came out in 2005. It stars Josh Hutcherson, Dax Shepard, Kristen Stewart, and Tim Robbins. It's basically about two brothers, Danny and Walter. Danny's the little brother, and Walter is the slightly older brother. And they have a big sister, Lisa, a teenager, played by Kristen Stewart. And basically, they're a divorced family, and they're living with their dad, and they split time between their dad and their mom. And of course, little Danny wants his brother, his older brother Walter, to play with him, and he doesn't basically want to play with him. Uh, and so they kind of have kind of a hate relationship, to put it mildly. And the father basically tries to get them to play with each other and interact with each other, but they're not having it. Specifically, the older brother doesn't want to play with the younger brother, of course. And one weekend when they're with uh, their father has to go to the office for something, and the younger brother Danny goes into the basement and finds a game in the old house that the father has moved into. It's called Zathura. That's the game, and his little brother brings it up, hoping that his older brother would play with him. But of course, he doesn't want to play with him. But when the younger brother starts to play the game by itself, it actually sparks them onto an intergalactic adventure. It actually is a game involving space. It transforms the house into space, where they basically have to play the game to the end. And of course, fighting off killer robots, uh, rescuing stranded astronauts at the same time, and hiding from these lizards called the Zorgons at the same time. And this movie is a real treat. I remember seeing this years ago on cable, not seeing it from the beginning, but just seeing like in the beginning of it, but not seeing it from the very beginning. And this movie is just a fun movie. This movie, of course, is directed by Jon Favreau, of course, who would go on to direct, Iron Man, and Iron Man movies and stuff, and various other stuff. And this movie is fun, and it's basically about that relationship between the two brothers, the squabbling relationship between those two brothers, and will they come together to basically save themselves in their house and their older sister from these invading aliens, which basically this game has transported them and the house into space. And it's a fun movie full of action and adventure. And Dax Shepard is in there. He plays the astronaut who they rescue, who helps the young boys survive the day during. Kristen Stewart plays their older sister, who, she's one of those typical teenagers, doesn't want her younger brothers anywhere near her. And of course, is in her own world. Exactly. And Tim Robbins, he has kind of like a cameo in there. He plays the dad who's trying to get the brothers to get along with each other, of course. And I thought Josh Hutcherson is the older of the two siblings, and then you have Jonah Bobo, who plays the younger Danny. I think they have good brother chemistry, if that's a word, as they play these squabbling siblings who are trying to get along, and they basically have to get along to survive this adventure they're thrust in by playing this game. And basically that's what they have to do. They have to play the game to the end, despite any other dangers that come along. They have to play the game to the end. And this is a really fun movie. I remember watching it and just falling in love with this movie. I really enjoyed this a lot. And I would definitely give Zathura, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, because I thought it's a great movie about relationships and the bond between brothers and stuff. And anybody that has siblings can understand and relate while watching this movie about the relationship between the brothers and stuff, and even the relationship between the brothers and their older sister. Okay, and what you have to do sometimes when you have split families and stuff. So I thought it's really well done, and the action scenes are great and fun and adventurous, and definitely a must see. Anyway, let me know what you think of Zathura. If you've seen it, what do you think of it? I'm going to give Zathura again an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Again, if you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram in the description box, so please check that out as well as my other channel, Paul's Views and Opinions. The link's in the description box. Please check that channel out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.